One man was worshipped as a god on 3 continents. The same man punched a goal into a World Cup net and got away with it. Genius and cheat. Saint and addict. God with the devil's hand. This is the full story of Diego Maradona. Villa Fiorito, a mud-street slum on the edge of Buenos Aires. 1960. Diego Armando Maradona is born into a shack with a tin roof, one of 8 children. There is no money. Some nights, there is no food. But at age 3, Diego gets a gift. He sleeps hugging the ball. He never really puts it down again. By 10, he is juggling at halftime shows in stadiums. Oranges, bottles, anything round. Crowds chant for the little magician. Argentina has never seen feet like these. At 15, he debuts professionally. At 21, Boca Juniors. The slum kid is a superstar. Then Europe calls. 1982, Barcelona pays a world record fee for him. And Europe starts to eat him alive. First, hepatitis takes him off the pitch for months. In Barcelona's nightlife, far from home, he is introduced to something else. It will follow him for 30 years. Then, September 1983, Andoni Goicoechea, the Butcher of Bilbao. A tackle from behind shatters Diego's ankle. The crack is heard rose deep into the stands. Doctors fear the career is over. Diego is back in 14 weeks, playing on a rebuilt ankle in rage. But Barcelona ends in disgrace. A cup final brawl in front of the king. Kicks flying, 60 injured in the stands. Barcelona wants him gone. And the club that comes for him shocks the world. Napoli, the poorest big city in Italy. A club that has never won anything. In a town the North calls the sewer of Italy. Naples empties its pockets. Another world record fee for the most expensive player alive. July 1984. 85,000 people pay just to watch him wave. The city adopts him as a son. The poor of Naples see one of their own. And in 1987, the miracle. Napoli wins the first league title in its history. Naples parties for weeks. On cemetery walls, someone writes to the dead, "You don't know what you missed." They paint him on walls. They name their sons Diego. Shrines appear with locks of his hair. But in Naples, there are 2 royal families, the church and the Camorra. The clans embrace the city's new god. Parties, watches, protection. Everything has a price. Later, his nights grow longer. The white powder from Barcelona is now a routine. Sundays he is a god. By Wednesday a ghost. The club knows. The city knows. Nobody stops him. He is winning. And in the middle of it all comes Mexico. 1986. The World Cup. Argentina is a wounded nation, 4 years after losing a war to Britain over the Falklands. And in the quarterfinal, fate writes the script. Argentina versus England. Diego walks onto that pitch, carrying a country on his back. Minute 51. A looping ball into the box. Diego leaps against the towering keeper and punches it in with his fist. Hidden by his head. The referee gives the goal. England rage. The scoreboard doesn't care. Diego will smile later. It was the hand of God. The world is still howling about the crime, when 4 minutes later he collects the ball in his own half. He spins past 2 men. Full sprint. Halfway line. 3rd defender, beaten. 4th, beaten. The commentator is weeping on air. He drops the goalkeeper too, and rolls it into the empty net. 60 meters. 11 seconds. The goal of the century. Crime and miracle, for minutes apart. No player has ever shown both faces so nakedly. Diego drags Argentina all the way and lifts the World Cup. He returns to Naples a deity. And deities in Naples are owned by the city, day and night. Another title in 1990. He is untouchable, except to himself. Then football writes its cruelest joke. World Cup 1990. Semi-final, Argentina versus Italy, in Naples. Diego asks Naples to choose him over Italy. For 364 days a year you are treated like dirt by the North, and now they want you Italian. Naples splits in half. Banners in the stands red. Diego, we love you, but Italy is our country. Argentina knock Italy out, on penalties, in Naples. Italy never forgives him. From that night, the whole country turns. And the protectors in the shadows step back. March 1991. A doping test comes back positive. Cocaine. Banned for 15 months. The god of Naples leaves the city at night, alone. No parade. No goodbye. 1994. One last World Cup. A rebuilt Diego, 33, screams his return after scoring against Greece. That scream becomes one of the most famous images in World Cup history. Days later, another test. Ephedrine. Diego is thrown out of the World Cup mid-tournament. His words break a continent's heart. They cut my legs off. He never plays a World Cup again. The body that carried a nation begins a 30-year war with itself. Hospitals, relapses, comebacks, talk shows. The world watches its greatest genius fight his own heart. And still, every stadium he enters rises to its feet. Because everyone knows there will never be another. November 25th, 2020. Diego's heart stops. He is 60 years old. Argentina stops breathing. 3 days of national mourning. Millions in the streets. In Naples, grown men cry in the alleys under his murals. The stadium is renamed Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. God with the devil's hand. He cheated. He fell. He destroyed himself. And he gave 2 cities and 1 country the greatest joy they have ever known. Tonight, Argentina walk out at another World Cup. Somewhere above it, or below, Diego is watching, probably screaming at the referee. Genius or cheat? God or devil? You don't have to choose. He was always both. That is why we cannot look away.